All right, what's up? Tim Sykes, millionaire mentor and trader here. Filming with Matt Monaco. Very excited to have you on. You got an exciting new project. I wanted you just to explain to everybody. You crossed $2 million in trading profits just out of college. You're making your way in this world. You're trying to find an edge. You're trying to help other people get an edge. What are you doing these days? Are you playing golf? Are you
A little bit, a little bit. The weather's
are
nice.
you really?
Yeah, I know a little bit. I try to sneak in on like Friday afternoons and the weekends, but it's finally
Sneaking.
nice. It's not like New York where it snows, 10 months of the year. So,
Yeah. Well, how does it feel living the multi-millionaire life?
uh, some days it feels like a dream. Like it's pretty wild. I still have friends I talk to a bunch too about like their jobs they hate, or some of them don't have jobs anymore because I know the economy's tough out there, but it's pretty wild thinking that could have been me for sure.
What'd you do to celebrate crossing $2 million?
Oh, I'm pretty low key. Nice steakhouse. Like I just down in Austin. So yeah, I probably a restaurant we went to once upon a time when you were here. So
I
you show
gotta
me all the
take
good places, and then I just circle back once you leave.
I gotta take you to Japan. I gotta take you to Spain. We gotta go. We gotta
Yeah,
expand your horizons. There's more to life than just Texas.
I know. No, I'd love to go to like Europe over the summer. It's kind of what I'm trying to plan something right now. See what we can do.
Good, good man. Well, what are you working on right now? I hear that this is a very urgent project.
Yeah, so it's called Project Alpha. We've been working on it for about 6 or so months dating back. Really starting, that's when like we first got started on it, and then about 3 months ago got serious once we got like the tech and the software behind it all lined up. And over the last 3 months, we've been running these tests, really getting it dialed in, and the results on it have been amazing.
What is it? You're just teasing me. I don't
We
even
just walked
understand.
around it.
Like pretend I'm like a 5-year-old. How
Okay.
would you explain it to a 5-year-old?
Yeah. So essentially to a 5-year-old, it's an algorithm that scans the entire stock market. So it's software trying to detect what we're calling dark anomalies within the market, which are like price points and inflection points where the stock price is likely to change directions. And then we've paired that up ultimately with one of my favorite trading strategies that I've used to make those $2 million profits. And when we've kind of like leveraged these two techniques together, it's allowed us to identify some really big trades over the last 3-4 months. And now it's gotten to a point after we've done all our testing that like money's going on the line. I've actually opened up a new $2,000 account to trade with, which was my first account in college, to try to grow it and see what happens.
What's like a big trade? You said you've had some good results. Give me an example.
Yeah, so during our testing started roughly end of November of 2022, and has gone from then till now. And we've caught some really big winners. Like, let me pull up the track record. We had KTRA. I remember we had KTRA, which was a very big one. OCA. That first day we identified it when it went from the 5s to 26. Yeah, we've gotten, there's kind of two tiers to the system where there's the algorithm in the background that's always running identifying these plays. And we've actually brought in like a Wall Street analyst too to help even bring this step further. His name's Ian, and he's in our chat room talking to all of us, and he helps us identify those trades as well, filling in basically all the holes to make sure we don't miss these plays.
Cool. No, I like it. Why? What's the sense of urgency? You're like, it's got to be. It's like now. Is the market ripe for it with all the volatility?
The market is very much right for it with the volatility. I mean, we're 3 months into the year at this point, and those 3 months, the volatility has been crazy. I know banks are the headlines these days, but that's nothing. What I always tell people is that's nothing to be scared of. That's just a lot of opportunity if you know what you're doing. If you're totally unprepared and have no clue, then yeah, like you probably should be scared. But for those traders who are prepared, who know where to look, there's a lot of opportunity out there. So the volatility that we are seeing, definitely a lot of opportunity. The other part of the urgency is over the next month, just with that $2,000 account, there's 2 training sessions a week that we'll be doing live. So we'll be trading live using this for those members as we go through it, to kind of get you just like heads up. So that live it's starting this week actually. So
Nice.
yeah.
I mean, do you get enjoyment out of that? I have trouble like trading with such a small account. I'm like, this is so boring.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't gone down to a small account since I first got started. I mean, my story, I started with $2,000 in college. That was all the money I had, and I lost most of it in that first round. Worked some jobs, tried to save up, basically started with 2,000 again. And from there, I was able to grow that account. And in that time, I always traded with like varying account sizes. I find right around 50,000 was pretty good for me for a while, but this is pretty much the first time I've gone back to that 2,000, definitely challenging myself. But given the results that we're seeing here, I think the opportunity is quite large.
No, I'm glad you're doing it because I don't have the patience for it, and frankly, it's really good for students to learn.
Right.
People always ask me like, "Don't you feel bad like talking about day trading or short selling or penny stocks because it's all like evil stuff? Just invest in the long run." But I'm like, if you have $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 investing for the long run, like what are you going to make? You're going to make plus or minus $100 or $200 per year. Like,
Right.
it's the US dollar is becoming more and more worthless compared to your measly little gains. Like you're losing 5%, 6% every year just due to inflation.
Yeah, exactly. No, I say the same thing. Yeah, I mean, if you do want to grow an account and you only have that couple $1,000, like you got to be looking at this sector, these plays, these opportunities. Otherwise, yeah, like what are you gonna make $100 a year if you're lucky? It's tough.
It just doesn't make sense to me, but I get it. Like, this, what we're talking about, FYI, for those of you listening, it's specifically for small accounts. Like this is like an asymmetric type bet where it's like, okay, you can turn, 1,000, 2,000 and grow it exponentially as Matt and I have done. I mean, Matt's E-Trade account, I love that screenshot. Whereas you're up 1.6 million%. Whereas like, but it's on a small dollar amount, right? So like, that's the key. You can't make 1.6 million% on like $1 million, then look at you, you're a billionaire already, right? So you just have to keep things in perspective. But many of you watching this video complain that you have a small account and you can't wait to trade with a big account, but you're missing all the opportunity, right? Like there's a lot of opportunity when you have a small account where you can try to make a few hundred or a few $1,000s, where big accounts, they don't even do those trades. It doesn't move the needle for them. So are you excited to teach people, how to really maximize their small account?
Yeah, definitely. And just goes back to like kind of the fundamentals and the basics. Like you were saying, a lot of people are just waiting for a big account or the PDT rule, pattern day trader rules, that big level everyone's waiting for. But the lessons I learned, like trying and failing originally with that small account, like you just learn the right lessons, you learn how to do it the right way. So then by the time you actually get to a large account, you're rolling and you're making good trades, you're ideally consistently profitable. And if you just sit there and wait, well, most people just never will get started. So it's that's the reality. And I am pretty excited to go back. Kind of forces me to go back and find those best trades, identify them, wait for those right setups, and just trade, slightly differently. It's pretty easy too. Like I see a lot of traders get kind of careless once they've made some money or get some larger accounts and take some riskier trades and stuff. But when you're trading with that small account, like you got to find those best trades. You got to take those best trades, focus on them. You can't be doing crazy stuff. That's how you blow up.
No, I like that. When you have a small account, you could say like your back is up against the wall.
Right.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be under the PDT rule. Like, let me just add more money to it so I'm over it. But I think it's really good for you to like force yourself to trade small, to force yourself to, learn how to really risk only a little bit on every trade. Like you don't have to risk a lot to make a lot. Like if you choose the right trades, like if you have, the right indicator or the right strategy, yes, obviously there's risk on every trade. You can lose on any trade, but the risk can be minimized if you are very meticulous. So is that what, Project Alpha is going to help at all with?
Yeah, the full alpha program and the indicator that goes with it, it allows us to find those price points, and typically the stop loss that's included is very, very tight. So like you're going to know pretty quickly that trade's going to work or it's going not to. For example, there was a trade on Friday of SI. This one actually came out as a short, And I think we were only risking, it was like 4 cents a share. Like entry was 216, we were risking 220. And we basically top ticked the high of the day. And then it faded on the rest of the day down to the 160s, which is our profit target. So just like you were saying, asymmetrical bets, finding those spots where you have a really tight, small stop loss, where if you lose, the loss is very, very small. And then you can let those profits that trade kind of run like the wind.
No, so just going back to the SI, like where you're saying you have 50 cents of downside since you're shorting it, you want it to come down 4 cents that you're risking of upside. So it's like literally like 12 to 1, 13 to 1 potential reward versus risk. And if you have, let's say, 2,000 shares, you can make $1,000 or you lose what, $20, $30, right? So like, think about that. Even if you do lose, you do have to stay disciplined. That's where, studying and different stop losses, whether it's hard stops or mental stops, come in. But like, if you're willing to risk losing $20 or $30 and potentially make $1,000, and let's say you win 6 times out of 10 or 7 times out of 10, that's how you grow an account, a small account.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's exactly how I was able to grow my small account the first time. Like, you don't need to win 100% of the time. And I mean, if anyone thinks that, like, you just don't. As a trader, there's going to be losses along the way. But the key is figuring out a strategy that works for you, where your winners are ideally 2, 3, 4 times or more. In this case, like 14 times more than those losses. So then you can grow that small account. Maybe you only win half the trades, but your winners are so much bigger than your losers. Over time, that's what's going to grow.
And that's important to note. Like, some people are like, oh, you have to win like 100 or 90% of the time. And I'm like, no, like many of my top students win 50, 60% of the time. Some students even win like 40, 45%. You don't have to make money all the time if your wins are much bigger than your losses. Like, this is basic math. And I'm not even that great at math, but like, let's say you win 50% of the time, 1 win, 1 loss, 1 win, 1 loss. But your wins are 300, 400, 500, and your losses are 30, 40, 50, maybe $100. As long as your gains are bigger than your losses overall, obviously any play can do anything. But if you're really, trading scared, and you're trading like with a hard stop or a mental stop, you can control your losses. Right. And then it comes down to like knowing where to put your hard stop, your mental stop. So, like you were talking about with the inflection points, that's why it really matters. It's not just about where should you get in, it's where should you potentially get out if something goes right or wrong, right?
100%, 100%. Identifying those key levels. I was like, if you want to boil trading down, successful trading is like knowing what stock to look at. And, there's 20,000 or so stocks out there. So it's overwhelming if you don't even know where to start. And then from there, you just need to know, where to get in that stock. And then from there, you got to find your exit points. So pretty much there's 3 things you need to know, right? Like what stock, where to enter, and where to get out. So it's simple. It's simple and not necessarily easy, but it's pretty overwhelming if you're out there trying to do it on your own. And trust me, like I was there for a long time. It's not very fun.
No, 100%. I mean, that's what this is all about. So, just to sum everything up, a lot of people are messaging me right now, scared of the banking crisis. Crypto people are going crazy, being like, this is the end of the US, like get your pitchforks. It's a revolution. I'm not saying that the banks are healthy, but it's also never paid to bet against the US for any extended period of time. But with this volatility comes so many different plays, long and short. And, if you click the link below, actually, we have a cool little special for Project Alpha, just because, I want to give you guys some tools and indicators and new ideas just to really maximize this volatility. Like Matt said, you don't have to be scared of it. It's a time for opportunity if you're prepared. And this is what I always say. I say trading is a battlefield. Most traders are unprepared. So they're, if you picture like a battlefield and there's guns going off and bombs going off, and then you have like a new trader and they're holding up like a butter knife and they're like, let's go. And you're like, no, you're not prepared for battle. Like you need to get, better armed. So what do people get exactly? Because I'm gonna post the link below. I know that you just recorded a whole little overview on this. What's included?
Yeah, so definitely check that out. I was with Tim Bowen and myself, and then I introduced that Wall Street analyst. His name's Ian in that video below. It'll walk you through alpha and what we're calling these dark anomalies to identify those trades. Within Alpha, there's a couple different things that come with that program, including there's a live chat room where we talk basically, 24/7, it's open, but during the market hours, both myself and our analyst Ian is in there. On top of that, there's a masterclass that is live over the next 4 weeks or so. There's going to be 8 sessions. So I'll answer your questions. Ideally, we find some great trades live while we're using it. And then there's the alpha indicator. So it's all live right within, it's like a web-based thing. So you can see all the stocks and you can play with it yourself behind the scenes. If you do have stocks to trade, actually, it goes right within the stock trade platform as well. So kind of have a choice there. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, the results so far have been awesome. So I can't wait to keep seeing what we got.
Can we help use this program to create some hair for Tim Bowen so he doesn't have like that comb over? Because it's getting a little embarrassing.
Oh yeah. I'm sure maybe, yeah. Alpha, we grow this $2,000 account into something, we can buy him like a wig for Christmas,
Can Alpha create beta and like gamma and delta, and then they all come over and they like put little hair follicles in his head?
I'm sure he would love it. Most of the time he just wears a hat because he's in Michigan and it snowed like year round over there.
No, you just wear hats when you don't want to do a comb over. Like, I think we need to get him a comb so that he can do the comb over with pride. But ideally, we start using AI to, AI is bettering our life in the stock market. Why can't it better, Tim Bowen's hair situation?
I mean, that's a great point. I don't know. Yeah, fair enough.
Just an idea. I'm just throwing it out there. I know that we have some developers and programmers listening. Guys, think about that. Tim Bowen, he's been doing very well lately. He's willing to pay for, whatever help you can give him. But on a serious note, like I'm excited for, machine learning and AI and algorithms really to, take trading to the next level for people. I'm not saying like I would ever rely on it. I don't know if you were in the car, like where, I rented like a Tesla for a week and I wouldn't even put it like on the auto drive. Like I don't trust machines, right? Like what if you put on the auto drive and then you're rounding a turn and then it's the one time it doesn't work, you're too late, and you're over the edge. Like I don't trust machines fully yet, and probably won't even be my choice in a few years. They'll force us to. But for me right now, I think that it's good to really aid in, finding the best patterns, finding, good catalysts, finding inflection points, like you said. Like, is that, pretty much what Alpha is doing?
No, exactly what it's doing. And the game's ultimately changed, like with everything with AI and all these algorithms. I don't necessarily think you need to 100% rely on them, but if you're not, you're kind of just at a disadvantage because that's what all the big Wall Street players are doing. That's what the big traders are doing. And I mean, yeah, you could certainly try to do it the old school way, but there's kind of a different battlefield going on. And nowadays,
I think it's good. It's like aiding and abetting. I see some of these like new, machines that like you can put on your arms and then like you kind of have like this Iron Man suit and you can like lift extra weight because of like these exoskeletons. It's very similar with stock trading where it's not like a physical, lift for your arms, but it's like a lift for your brain, right? Like it allows you to sort through thousands of stocks much quicker. If you tried to do this on your own, like the whole trading day is over and you still haven't even gone through all the trades or all the potential trades. Yeah. This, you get it like that. And then, it's like a helper, right? It just speeds up your learning curve.
Absolutely. And like you said, the speed too, like if you're trying to do it manually or on your own, I mean, that's why a lot of people miss the trades because, you don't necessarily need to be speedy quick, but if you don't know where to look or you don't know how to look and you're trying your best, then it's just going to take some time. And that time you might miss that trade opportunity. And this helps you out and does it all.
I'm asking you this like in a polite way. Do you talk with the programmers behind this? Because I usually just end up yelling at programmers. So I've learned not to talk to programmers.
I do. I have a software engineering degree, so I speak programmer. All right. So I'm the bridge for you guys. Yeah.
I blew up the bridge many years ago. I don't talk to programmers. I just get too angry. So thank you for your service.
Yeah, I try.
I, you're laughing because like,
Yes. I programmers. I'm sure there's some developers watching. You know too. Like,
you have some PTSD. I see Vincent the vein popping in
yeah.
your forehead,
There's
dude.
a reason I am not a software engineer. I can still speak software engineer, but there's a reason I don't do that.
How do we communicate them? I know that this is like, about stock trading, but like give everybody one tip. How do you talk to like a programmer and not like lose your mind?
You just gotta talk to them kind of like they're a computer. Like that's how they think.
Oh, should I give them like commands?
I guess like probably like the prompts you'd type into like Chat GPT or something.
Yeah.
You almost just like say to them.
So I should speak in code.
Yes, well they speak in code, so you're speaking their lingo.
This is why I ask you. I was curious because like I'm an emotional guy. I don't speak in code. Like what I'm thinking. I
Yeah,
can't hide my emotions. But now I'm gonna like I think I'll try this on a programmer. I'm gonna talk like to him like a prompt, and then maybe he'll understand it because that's the way he talks. Anyways, that was just for me. You guys click the link below. It's a free presentation from Matt Monaco and Mr. Comeover himself, Tim Bowen. Um, it's very cool. I'm starting to learn it and use it. Again, I'm not fully relying on it, but I think that this is another tool that can really help speed up your learning curve, and the chat room that you guys have, I think is fantastic. Like this is really going to help people just find the best plays faster. And I know that's especially difficult when there's thousands of options, when you're just beginning, when there's a lot of market volatility. Like this is the kind of like some people have like an emotional support dog. This is like a trading support program.
yeah,
I think it's very good. It's like a crutch.
yeah. Well said.
Cool. All right. Well, click the link below. It's free. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you guys think. Do you trust AI fully yet? Do you realize that they're going to enslave humanity in the end and we are, going to all be obsolete soon? But while we're here, we should try to make as much money and live as good of a life as possible. No matter how short it is.
Is that a question for me or the public?
For everybody. When do you think? Here's a question. What year do you think it'll be when the machines have like developed and evolved so much where they're just like, okay, humans are a problem, like, Judgment Day? What year? Leave a comment below. I'm curious. What year do you think, Matt?
Judgment Day, I think is probably a ways away, I'd say. But like in terms of like robots like being smart and like smarter than us, I don't know. The way it's evolving, not that far, not that far.
I mean, if we knew when Judgment Day was, if we could pinpoint it, the robots would wipe us out before that date because they would just learn and they would change and they'd be like, oh, humans think it's going to be like August 26th, 2032. But they just put that fake out and it's really like August 2030. Extinction.
Yeah, I mean, there you
They
go.
could do that. They're smarter than us, or they will be. Anyways, I'm a sci-fi nerd. I can't help it. Click the link below. Check out Project Alpha. Very, very urgent, specifically right now, given the banking crisis, given all the volatility. And Matt also has a whole bunch of features that he's doing right now for just the next few days only. We always try to weed out, bad students, people who aren't serious. So people always wonder, like, why do we do things the way that we do? Because we have these beautiful little communities that we've created, these chat rooms, only people with good attitudes. If you have any doubts, don't do it. But if you want to learn, if you want a helper to help find the best trades and the key inflection points quicker, click the link below, check it out. Matt, keep up the good work. Keep being the bridge to programmers. You have any last words? One tip for everybody in 2023. What do you see working best right now?
Well, my tip was going to be like, just keep an open mind to opportunities out there. I like the saying lately, I forget who told me this, but like a closed mind's a poor mind. And it is like, if you're just don't want to take a second to learn, see the opportunity, you might miss something pretty big. And then what's working best, kind of the second part of that question, I'm seeing definitely just a lot of volatility, like swing trades that are multiple days or so, because of all the news and stuff. In my opinion, haven't been working that great because what's good on Monday might not be good on Tuesday, but there might be really good day trade on Monday and a really good day trade on Tuesday, because the volatility is so high. So,
I agree. Shorten your holding times.
Yeah.
Really go for quick hits, quick singles. The singles add up over time. I know people want home runs, but this is a singles kind of market. And I'll give you one tip from me. Aside from just, trying different strategies and trying different indicators, it's really focused on learning right now because this is not that hot of a market. Even though we have volatility, it's up and down, it's very choppy. You want to use this volatility to really learn how to optimize your own trading strategy. So try out, Project Alpha, try different indicators, try different patterns, see what works best for you, because you can try right now with small size, you can paper trade on stocks to trade, but you're basically tinkering and you're refining so that if and when the market does firm up or, go one specific way for an extended period of time, you now have utilized this choppiness and you're better prepared when there's better plays. So some people will say, oh, Tim, everything's choppy, I don't want to trade at all. I say, no. This is a very good training field. This is no different than like if you're a runner, you're practicing for like the Olympics or the championships. This is just going around the track practicing. If you're, into weightlifting, like this is going to the gym early in the morning. If you're like a basketball player or a soccer player, basketball NBA finals, you're training during the off season. Soccer player, you're training to get ready for the World Cup. Everybody always wants success right away, but you have to put in the time when it's not exciting, when no one is looking. So right now, this is kind of like when no one is looking, because no one I know is really making like record profits, but you can have record education. You can learn a lot right now. Then when the market is better, everything comes together. I don't want the market getting hot 6 months, 12 months from now, and then you saying, oh man, I got to tinker when the market's hot, and you don't know what really works for you. So right now, find what really works for you in this market, then you're better prepared for the better market. And you know that a better market is coming, whether it's 2024, 2025. I hope that it's 2028. It gives you more time to prepare, but that should be your mindset. That's how I frankly, created now nearly 36 millionaire students. All of them started during slow periods. Do you remember when you started, Matt? Was it fast or slow?
So I started in 2017, which was fast, but I missed all the plays. And then like I did the learning 2018, 2019, which were slow. Yeah.
And you were fortunate because you learned really in 2018, 2019, then you were really prepared for 2020 and 2021. People don't want to think about it. People are just like, oh, I want the hot market now. I want money right now. No. You have to put in the time studying and testing out different indicators. I got to get going. Thank you, Matt. Everyone click the link below. It's free. You have nothing to risk, no risk whatsoever, except the potential for opportunity missed. And that's a bad risk that you don't want to take. So click below, study up, and leave a comment below. Let me know what year you think mankind will be wiped out by, machines. I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks, Tim. I'll see everyone soon.